Canada has long prided itself on being a welcoming nation for immigrants. From the first Indigenous peoples to waves of settlers and refugees, Canada's history is intricately woven with the stories of newcomers. This legacy of immigration has shaped Canada's identity, its culture, and its economy. For generations, Canada has embraced immigration as a core principle, recognizing the invaluable contributions that newcomers make to the nation's social fabric. However, recent years have witnessed a discernible shift in Canada's approach to immigration. Policy changes, coupled with evolving public sentiment, have raised questions about whether Canada's long-standing reputation as a welcoming destination for immigrants is beginning to wane. This essay delves into the complexities of Canada's current immigration landscape, examining the factors driving these changes and their potential implications for the nation's future. In October 2024, the Canadian government announced a significant reduction in immigration targets, marking a notable departure from the policies of previous years. This decision to pause population growth reflects a growing concern among policymakers about the capacity of existing infrastructure and social services to absorb large numbers of newcomers. The new targets represent a substantial decrease from the ambitious goals set by the previous government. Permanent resident targets were slashed from 500,000 to 395,000 for 2025, a 21% reduction, with further decreases planned for subsequent years. This shift in policy has sparked debate about the future direction of Canadian immigration. Proponents of the reduced targets argue that a period of slower population growth is necessary to address pressing issues such as housing affordability and strain on healthcare and other essential services. They contend that a more measured approach to immigration will allow Canada to better integrate newcomers and ensure their long-term success. This policy shift comes amidst evolving public opinion on immigration. Recent polls indicate a growing unease among Canadians about the pace and scale of immigration. A significant proportion of the population now believes that immigration levels are too high, citing concerns about housing affordability, job security, and the strain on public services. The rising cost of living, particularly in major urban centers, has fueled anxieties about competition for limited resources. Many Canadians are finding it increasingly difficult to afford housing, and some perceive immigration as a contributing factor to this challenge. Furthermore, concerns about job security have also contributed to the shift in public sentiment. While immigration has historically been a driver of economic growth, some Canadians worry that an influx of newcomers could lead to increased competition for jobs, potentially impacting wages and employment opportunities for those already established in the country. To understand the current context, it's essential to examine recent immigration trends. Under the previous Liberal government led by Justin Trudeau, Canada witnessed a period of historically high immigration levels. Driven by a belief in the economic and social benefits of immigration, the Trudeau government steadily increased annual permanent resident targets throughout its tenure. Starting at 272,000 in 2015, the target rose to 485,000 by 2023, with a notable surge in 2021 post-pandemic to address labor shortages across various sectors. This ambitious approach aimed to mitigate the economic impact of an aging population and bolster Canada's workforce. However, this rapid increase in immigration, while well-intentioned, coincided with a period of soaring housing costs and growing strain on public services. Critics argued that the government's focus on hitting immigration targets outpaced its ability to adequately address the infrastructural and social challenges posed by rapid population growth. Section 5, the housing crunch, a key factor in the immigration debate. At the heart of the immigration debate lies the issue of housing affordability. Canada, particularly its major urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, is grappling with a severe housing crisis. The cost of housing has skyrocketed in recent years, far outpacing wage growth and making it increasingly difficult for individuals and families to afford a place to live. While immigration is not the sole cause of this crisis, it has undoubtedly contributed to the surge in demand for housing. With a growing population fueled by immigration, the existing housing stock has struggled to keep pace, leading to bidding wars, sky-high rents, and a sense of desperation among those seeking affordable housing options. This situation has fueled resentment among some Canadians who feel that newcomers are exacerbating an already dire situation. They argue that until the government takes concrete steps to address the housing shortage, reducing immigration levels is a necessary measure to alleviate pressure on the market. Section 6. Beyond housing, immigration and the strain on social services. The strain on social services is another key concern driving the debate on immigration. Canada's publicly funded healthcare system, while lauded for its universal coverage, has faced increasing pressure in recent years. Long wait times for specialist appointments and procedures, coupled with a shortage of healthcare professionals, have become increasingly common. While these challenges are multifaceted and stem from a variety of factors, including an aging population and chronic underfunding, some argue that rapid population growth through immigration has exacerbated the situation. A larger population inevitably leads to increased demand for healthcare services, putting a strain on an already strained system. Similarly, other social services such as education and childcare have also felt the impact of a growing population. Overcrowded classrooms, long wait lists for childcare spaces, and stretched resources are common concerns in communities experiencing rapid growth. Section 7. The U.S. Factor: How American Policies Impact Canada. The recent shift in U.S. immigration policies under the new administration has also had ripple effects on Canada. The U.S. government's decision to tighten border security, restrict asylum claims, and enhance vetting processes has led to an increase in the number of asylum seekers and migrants seeking entry into Canada. This influx has placed additional pressure on Canada's immigration and refugee systems, as well as its social services. The situation has also sparked debate about Canada's obligations to those seeking refuge, and the sustainability of its current approach to immigration and asylum. Section 8. A Crossroads for Canada: Balancing Needs and Aspirations. Canada stands at a crossroads in its approach to immigration. The country's long-standing commitment to welcoming newcomers is being tested by a confluence of factors, including domestic economic anxieties, strain on social services, and the impact of U.S. policy changes. The challenge for Canada is to strike a balance between its humanitarian traditions, its economic needs, and the well-being of its citizens. Finding this equilibrium requires thoughtful policy-making, honest conversations about the challenges and opportunities presented by immigration, and a commitment to ensuring that newcomers have the support they need to thrive. Section 9. Conclusion: The future of immigration in Canada. The future of immigration in Canada remains uncertain. The recent policy changes, coupled with evolving public sentiment, suggest a potential shift towards a more cautious and controlled approach. However, Canada's history, its values, and its future prosperity are inextricably linked to its ability to attract and integrate newcomers. Navigating this complex landscape will require a nuanced understanding of the multifaceted factors at play. It demands a commitment to evidence-based policymaking, open dialogue, and a recognition that immigration, when managed effectively, can continue to be a source of strength and vitality for Canada.